Hello, hockey, basketball, and soccer fans. My name is David. I thought I would start this video a bit before 2 on the afternoon of Thursday, 31st of August, 2023, North American Eastern Time. Thought I would do is we're going to focus on the developments across the Canadian hockey world, and also the basketball one, too, or soccer one and two. So just to start off, the Sheldon Keefe was extended for a couple seasons by the Leafs to be the head coach. Whether that is a good thing or not is up for debate, but what isn't is that John Herdman, at one point a head coach of Canada's adult men's and women's and men's soccer teams, has found a new job in the same capacity but of Toronto FC, a struggling club that hopefully he can help turn around, even if only for next season. And now I'm going to do is the main part of the video, which is Stanley Cup pressure among Canadian teams. So just to recap, this is the video. Alright. Alright, so just going to have a little bit of view there. Those are the teams, so we can conclude the Leafs are number 1, according to him, among Canadian teams. So, just thought that I would plug that in. So what I would do is go through the Hockey Guy YouTube man's claims about various Canadian teams and what he ranked from having the least pressure to having the most. So he put the Habs at number 7 among Canadian teams. Well, I couldn't agree more. These Habs are, we already have a Stanley Cup appearance in the 2020s, or 2021 they did, although that turned out to be, the aftermath of that, of that cup appearance turned out to be a disaster. Habs went from having competed for a Stanley Cup to finishing dead last in the NHL the following season. So it's hard to argue with him. He put Senators at having the second least amount of pressure to win a Stanley Cup. Well, it's understandable the Sens have pressure to see playoff action, but yeah, I mean, I've lowered my expectations of Senators' success. I mean, yeah, they have some superstars. Well, they have, Drake Batherson, Tim Stützle at center, Tom Chabot on defense. Where the goaltending's any good, we'll have to see. I mean, Korpisalo wasn't exactly good for the LA Kings in that first round series, and there are a whole lot of questions about, just really if the Kings have what it takes to win playoff series. Well, the Hot Guy YouTube man put the Kings at number 12, but I'm going to focus on the Canadian team, so not concerned. So, the Hot Guy YouTube man put at the 22nd most amount of pressure overall, and second least among Canadian teams, the Ottawa Senators. Well, understandable. Yeah. So, yeah, I'd say Senators have some pressure to see playoff success, but to get into the postseason, but, well, Stanley Cup, maybe a little too much to ask for. And that third least amount of pressure, Hot Guy YouTube man put the Calgary Flames. Well, I'd say, I'll say a little bit more later, but, maybe why the Flames should be a little bit more pressure. I mean, yeah, whatever. But again, it is certainly understandable that they got some that they don't have the least amount of pressure. I mean, they have Huberdeau, Kadri, Blake Coleman signed long-term deals, so yeah, it's understandable why the Flames are not last. But again, will those deals work, or will they end up being just albatrosses, figuratively speaking? Who knows? The Hawkeye, the same man, put the Jets as having the fourth most pressure. Well, I'm not so sure if the Jets should be that high. I mean, after all, yeah, the Jets have Connor Hellebuck. They also have a bunch of, free agent, restricted free agents who they signed, who they grabbed from the LA Kings. So maybe the Jets should be, should be ranked that high among Canadian teams. Well, they're 18th most pressure among NHL teams to win a Stanley Cup. I mean, yeah, how will any of Kupari, Velarde, or Iafallo do? And will Iafallo do for for the new team, for his new team? We'll have to see. Deal looks good on paper for the Jets, but who knows? The next team, at 17th most pressure, the hockey guy claimed the Canucks deserve to be. I mean, I can kind of understand why the Canucks, should be somewhere in the top 4 among Canadian teams. Well, the defense, just been, so little playoff action following their last Stanley Cup appearance. That was 2011. So yeah, I mean, when I'd say that, that for the Canucks, this season is qualify the postseason or it'll be a bust. The next two Canadian teams he ranked a lot higher in terms of the pressure meter than the Canucks. The Oilers at number 3 among NHL teams, and the Leafs number 1. I mean, it's understandable that the Leafs and the Oilers are ranked as high as they are, at least among Canadian teams. But I'm going to put my teams in my own order and say why they have the least or the most amount of pressure. From least to most, we're going to use a format similar to the World According to Briggs YouTube man. How he ranked various videos about American states and territories, rankings and all that. Check out his YouTube channel. I'm gonna try to at least I'll link to that channel when I upload this video. So at number 7, I put the Habs. Well, it's there's no doubt the Habs have seen did see Stanley Cup action in 2021. They did win the final, but they got there all right. They beat the Leafs in 7 games, the Jets in 4, the Golden Knights in 6, before losing to the Bolts in 5. The last 2 games were 1-goal ones. Habs winning the first of those 2, but losing the other. The last game was a 1-0 loss to the Bolts. But again, it was a kind of a season with a whole host of unusual teams and all that. But again, so basically the Habs are, what can you do? So the Habs at number 6, I put the Ottawa Senators. There's not really anything remarkable, Yeah, the Sens have some pressure to see playoff action. I'd say, if the Sens don't see playoff action this season, it'll be a bust for them. When you have the pieces, they came close last time. If they're going to keep that extra step, hey, that'll be good. I'd say, put the Jets at number 5. Rather than with the Calgary Flames. Why the Jets at number 5? Because, they don't really have necessarily very expensive contracts. But also, I put the Flames, at 4th because, I don't know. Because the Jets, at least, the Jets have some rookie, have 3, formerly restricted free agents, Gabe Vilardi, Alex Iafallo, and Rasmus Kupari, formerly of the LA Kings. So the Jets have some pressure, but they're not ridiculously huge contracts, I don't think. At number 4, I put the Calgary Flames. Not quite as high up as the Canucks, but mainly that to do with the Flames have had some playoff success over the past few seasons, just not in consecutive ones. So yeah, the pressure is on number 4, Calgary Flames, because, well, I'd say that the Flames, have all these big name contracts. So you think, well, if they have big name contracts, that means those star players got to perform. Well, too few of them did last season, so we'll see what happens this season. I'm not confident the Flames will see playoff action. We'll see playoff action, but again, pressure's there. I see at fourth highest. So yes, it's so I put them at number 4. At number 3, I put the Vancouver Canucks. Well, they have all the pieces there. The defense has just been real not good. Goaltending wasn't very good last season, other than Demko, although Demko wasn't very good. And they're on battling injury. And yes, a whole bunch of goals he allowed, in the early part of the season, October, December, whatever. I think a lot of times like, oh, that's an ugly one. Yeah, a lot of ugly goals by Demko. Colin Delia was not very good. Spencer Martin wasn't very good in net. Yeah, a lot of goaltending was too many sieves. Well, Martin and Delia were sieves a lot of those games. Defense was not very good, so yeah. Have the Canucks done enough to at least see playoff action? Well, I guess we're going to have to find out. I mean, at least, if in October, Canucks during the regular season have earned half the available points, there's some hope. But if it is, hey, look what happened with the Leafs last season. Leafs went on a roll in November. Again, who knows what's going to happen to the Canucks. It may be time to, rebuild the team if it's like a start that's no better than after 10 games. The Canucks, 6 points. And I'd say the Oilers and Leafs are put in a tie for having the most pressure to win a Stanley Cup among Canadian teams. Both teams have the talent. 2 seasons ago, the Leafs won this many playoff games but didn't win a playoff series. The Oilers won this many games while they were swept in the conference final. This past season, the Leafs and Oilers combined won 11 playoff games. But how did those teams fare? The Oilers won this many playoff games. The Leafs won this many. So I'd say, is the pressure off the Leafs? No. But did the Leafs get closer to their ultimate goal? A little bit. But the Oilers got further away. So I'd say it's kind of like based on the number of playoff games won, kind of in the middle, kind of a clash. The Oilers ending up winning just one more playoff game than the Leafs last season. So yeah, I'd say it's kind of a tie. Ask me again, next offseason, it could be that the Leafs will be under less pressure than the Oilers. But we'll see what happens. It's going to be very interesting, to say the least. Because the confidence I have that, who knows how many Canadian teams, bar the Oilers or Leafs, will see playoff action. It's going to be interesting to find out. The Jets almost didn't get in last season. But the Jets did get in, but they limped right back out. Well, first game, Jets ended up winning convincingly, but I thought, okay, are these Jets for real? I wasn't too sure if they would be. And that was why I decided, I wanted to have, I had a healthy dose of skepticism they'd be able to pull things off. And oh boy, did I need to have that skepticism, because the Jets wouldn't end up winning any more games against the Golden Knights in that April playoff series. So, I'm going to wrap things up here. If you like the video, make sure to click the like button at the bottom, a few millimeters or so below the video. If you want to subscribe to my channel, please feel free to do so. Please note that if you do subscribe, you will receive more timely notifications of those releases of videos that I put out. I do try whenever possible to put out videos at least every other week. And on that note, I'm going to say, go Leafs go Raptors go Toronto FC go, and go Canada go.